Warning, this podcast contains language not suitable for children and some adults.
You're in a haunted Victorian-era city, trapped inside a wall of lightning powered by demon blood. Your game master for Blades in the Dark is Sean Cruz. Now,
Come along for the ride of your life.
Well, it's the finale. Possibly.
It's the final countdown.
Finale where we're gonna meet our
Maker?
Yeah. Essentially.
10 minutes and we all just die.
Yeah.
The end.
We're on our way up to heaven. Hello, my name is Rick Keller. I'm your god for this evening. Be one way to throw him in. Rick Keller is a sponsor.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
so-
true. Rick Keller is a sponsor.
He absolutely is.
Thanks, Rick.
All right. Anthony, take us away.
Oh, thank you. I'm Anthony. Sean, take us away.
Hey, and
Take us away.
Anthony.
It's like The Simpsons or something.
Hello and welcome to Oops, We Broke the Multiverse. I'm your host, Anthony O'Neill. To my right, as always, is Sean Cruz, the newly appointed art teacher of the art department.
Oh my god. Yep.
One
Proud of
class.
you, buddy.
Class, calm down.
And, of course, over there in the middle and sick today, playing with her Play-Doh, is the multi-talented and lovely Anne-Marie Cruz. And, of course, where would we be without the editing styles, the grace, the finesse of the computer, Anthony Gabba?
Beep boop.
All right, and you, our Patreon, have the pleasure, nay, the honor of listening to our very last episode for the season. This is probably going to be a two-parter, but this is the season finale. This is it, folks. This is the bottom of the ninth with two people on first, and I don't pay attention to baseball.
It's 2 outs and all your other players have broken legs. That's what you guys are.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's no more bench to clear in hockey.
Nope.
There's no more Phil Jackson and basketball. That's really all I know about sports.
Nah, we're Tom Brady with
You
a
know
deflated
about
ball.
football.
You mean we're going to win?
Well, yeah. Yeah. Sean, take us away. Get this last episode of the season
Right on.
started.
Well, last we left off, we were in a real pickle with Avarice and Ox, who has been possessed. But
With pizzazz.
I'll recap you a little bit. Avarice got a cursed gift when he activated the ancient rune to enter the hallway to the Archive of Echoes. And when they got into the room beyond the hall, they encountered 10 Red Sashes. They were speaking with a spirit, General Kroger, the Canadian general from the war before the Cataclysm. And then a battle ensued. So Avarice shot the spirit bottle containing General Kroger. He became possessed by him. And he was able to fight the spirit off with the charm, apparently. Fortuna was able to shoot one of them, but she lost Billy, who was then taken by the Red Sashes. She made a run for the shelves in the back of the room, chasing after Mylera, who's the leader of the Red Sashes. Mr. X used a little bomb vial and blew a Red Sash's head off. Then he snuck through the room, like professionally, to chase after Mylera as well. Ricardo Cabeza had been warding off a couple Red Sashes, but then was stabbed, and he is now clinging to life. Avarice killed 3 of the Red Sashes in sword fights. However, Ox was then possessed by General Kroger. And when we left the crew, Ox had just knocked Avarice down and was about to pummel him.
Correction, I killed 4.
I see 3.
On what?
On my arbitrary counting system.
Yeah. So I was at first just fighting 2 guys, which I killed, and then I went over to save Richard Cabeza, and I killed 2 more.
Richard.
Richard. That's his incognito name.
But it doesn't matter because still one of the members of the Silent but Deadly needs to comb. And I'm a little bit tied up.
Well, so we're going to jump right back into, you're going to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
We're going to jump right back in to where Ox was about to throw down on you. So you had he knocked you down, and you did one of those like superhero, like, kind of
Like Black Widow.
on your knee and stuff, kind of like you're down, but you're like,
Don't sue
I
us.
landed super professionally.
Yeah.
And he's got his fist, and he's going to do kind of one of those two-handed beat downs right down on top of you.
Where's Billy at this time?
He's slung over Ox's shoulder like a sack of potatoes.
Okay.
I'm almost done being GM. Can I finish a sentence for one fucking episode? All right. So he's going to come down on you. Well, Billy is on his side. I thought you just listened to this. He's on his side. He put him down, remember?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is for the listener's edification.
I
To see what I can
Oh
get
my
away
God.
with.
All right. So he is. I'm trying to read while you do that, and I'm like, stop knocking me off the rails.
Go for it.
All right. So he's going to come down with he clasps his hands together, and he's going to make one big old fist and come down on you with that. But as he does that, he swings the fist down and smashes the ground next to you. So you can see that maybe Ox is fighting this urge to hit you. But now it's your move.
Okay, so what I want to do is just to kind of grasp at my Spirit Bane charm and then just kind of push it to Ox's forehead a la exorcism style.
What does your Spirit Bane charm look like?
Wait while I think of it.
Yeah.
It looks like a little a little black half of a yang.
Like a teardrop?
Yeah.
Like a claw.
There's got like a little white dot in the middle of it.
Okay.
I don't know where the other yang part is, but
Ooh. We'll do a little side episode all about that.
let me tell you about my best friend.
All right, so you take it and you're going to shove it into his forehead.
Just push it against his forehead.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just say some stuff in Latin and then
Summon some demons.
yeah.
You say some stuff in Latin. A demon comes out of the floor.
Yeah. There's a reason it's a dead language.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So you do that, and it kind of makes him fall on his bum. He sits back now on the floor, and his face kind of looks droopy, like he had a stroke a little bit. And then all of a sudden, you can see the spirit of General Kroger rising out of him, and he starts to pass through, up through the ceiling, and you hear, "Canada shall rise again."
I forgot he was Canadian.
Fuck you,
Billy.
buddy.
I'm out of here, buddy. Billy, who was on the floor after Ox dropped him, see, I was going to get to it.
Okay.
Is kind of sitting there on the ground, and he kind of wipes himself off and gets up, and he addresses you like, well, that was interesting, yeah. Let me help you up. And he reaches down to help you up.
Okay. I get up. And then immediately
He starts brushing you off like, there you are. You're all put together. Look at you. You're fine.
and while he's brushing me off, I bend over and pick up his little trap and put it right back on his chest.
It's not on him. Remember, they cut it off.
I know. Well, they pulled it off.
No,
No, they cut it off.
Cut
Oh,
it
they-
off.
did
and
they cut
it's
it off?
on the
Okay.
other side of the room? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Is that all you had?
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so it's all okay then, good. Nothing shitty to do to me. That's great. Let's keep going.
So, who's left in this room?
All right, so you got Ricardo Cabeza, who is still alive, but he's on the ground. He helped you take out those red sashes. There are 2 more red sashes in the room. There's 2 left alive. And then there are 2 with Mylera who took off towards the back of the room where all those spirit bottles are.
Okay.
So there are 2 that are looking at you and ready to fight you.
Okay. I'm going to make eye contact with both of them. My eye's going to like wiggle a little bit out of the thing so I can stare at both of them at the same time.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm just going to pull down my pants. I'm going to take my horn in my hand, and without breaking eye contact, not blinking, I'm just going to stroke one out.
Oh, shit. Okay, so they both look at each other and like, God, it's like 2 cops trying to arrest a homeless guy. They're like, oh, man. You see them do a rock, paper, scissors. One of them loses, and they start rushing at you.
I think I've had time.
Yes.
That was enough time for me.
That was it.
Rock, paper,
One
scissors.
rock, paper, scissors, shoot!
I think he won.
Yeah.
Can't believe your
Come
mom
beats
listens to this.
Scissors.
Right? Hi, Mom.
Oh, my little boy's coming all over the place.
Yeah. She was like, I fucking hated how you were like putting your feet and toenails all over him.
Oh, my God.
I know
I
that's the
felt
line.
bad for that little asshole.
All right, so one lost the match, right? And he's coming at you. You're kind of getting your pants together and shit because you're like, oh, fuck, they're coming now.
Yeah.
After I came. So, dear listener, here at the end, the sunset of Blades in the Dark, you see he's jacking off because that is their ritual to keep the spirit warden away. So now, until he kills someone else or somebody kills somebody else, we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Sun's getting real low, big fella.
That's right. So one of them runs up to you, and a la an 80s action film, he is especially proud of his sword skills. He's doing all kinds of tricks and trying to slash, the air in front of you and make like figure eights and like,
know what to do.
you're going to be
Yeah.
fucking gone right now. And then he points at you and he yells, yeah!
And so I'm going to pull out my pistol and shoot him.
Ah! Indiana Jones, everyone.
Have you seen it now? Is that the
No, fuck
fucking Jesus Christ?
Anyway, okay, so go ahead and roll for that.
Okay.
Can you make it like a lethal blow? Not
You have hunt,
not a
right?
full lethal blow, like like mortally injured, not quite dead yet.
Just disable him.
Yeah. Although technically he
I mean-
just rolled his own dice. So
I got
does he need to roll?
I got a 5 and a 4.
Okay. Excuse me. So, a 5. Sorry, we did that out of order. But essentially, your action rating here was the
Yeah, close enough.
good old controlled position, I think. You got a gun. He doesn't. That's pretty controlled. And you rolled a 5. So, that's going to be a success, but with a complication. Withdraw or succeed
didn't
with
die.
minor complications. So, yeah, we can say that is going to shoot him. It's going to hit him in the chest. The guy's on the ground, but he's like wiggling and stuff. And he's like, I hate this job. God damn it. All right, come at me. And he starts wiggling his sword in the air again. He's trying to do little tricks from the ground. He's like, I've had a moment. I've caught my breath. Come on.
I can't
Fuck
tell
you.
I can't tell if you're trying to do like a Monty Python or if you're doing like a fucking Will Ferrell from Austin Powers, where he just goes into the pit and he's like, I'm not dead yet, but I'm very, very badly burned down here.
I'm going to try to stand on my leg.
Oh, good. Oh, there's somebody coming into the room. What? No, don't shoot.
We just acted the whole thing out.
You
Spoiler
shot
alert.
me.
You're supposed to say spoiler alert first. If you haven't seen it, you haven't seen it.
That movie's sold.
Anyway, not to deflate what we were doing.
Yeah.
So he's slashing at you and he's saying, I fucked your sister. Come on, finish the job. You piece of shit. And he's like waving his sword at you. Meanwhile, the other guy is approaching you.
Okay, I'm just gonna draw my sword, and I'm gonna kill him.
Okay. So you can roll for that.
Okay.
So how many dice are you going to do?
I do 4 with my skirmish.
Okay, so this is a risky position since it's not a gun. And, yeah, it is a standard risky.
Okay. I got a 5.
All right, so a 5, you will suffer a complication, but you do it. So you're going to cut him, you're going to cut him,
Yeah.
And he is going to take a slash to his chest, and it's going to swipe down. His arm goes limp, and it kind of goes into his belly, and he just kind of crumbles to the left side. Meanwhile, the other guy's still on the ground, and he's spitting at you. The guy that you just slashed has died, however.
Okay. Well, off with my pants.
Off with your pants.
So I'm going to pull it down.
Isn't there
There's
still
no way
another
he
guy?
could come that many times in 5 minutes.
Well, let me tell you about a legend from the Dagger Isles.
oh, yes.
A legend about a man who one day won the lottery. And so he hit up every brothel in town. And he lined them all up. And he knocked out 72 in a 20-hour period. And by the end of it, you would just think that like he was just shooting out like powdered milk at this point. But no, it was the same steady stream of frothy coom.
Frothy.
It's like a
And
latte.
in that moment, that
Latte.
man became a legend and a god. And that man's name was Rick Keller.
Well, that's a very unique name. How'd you
right?
come up with that?
He's our top Patreon supporter.
There we go.
Thanks, Rick. Rick Keller is the sponsor.
So, were you related to this legendary comer?
I wish.
So what was the point of that story?
Oh, I'm probably running low on juices, but eventually it's gonna have the same consistency
So-
of like Spider-Man's web. Just and I just ruined Spider-Man for everyone. Good.
Okay, I'm gonna say if you have to come again, because it's just not realistic right
In
now.
a 15-minute period.
We're on 3, and the
He did
Game
he did
time
it on
lasts
the
30
roof,
minutes.
right? He did
Yeah.
it when he killed that one guy. He's
He did
done
it
it
in the
already
plant.
once in this room, right?
it's been like an hour, and it's
Now,
been like
guys,
3 or 4 times.
Gentlemen,
it's been
this
a-
is not a 30-year-old man. This is a 24-year-old man.
Oh, okay.
So take yourself back 10
There
years
you
ago.
go. He's a lotion bottle. Then it just keeps coming out.
You know who could have multiple orgasms
Who?
successfully, like multiple times?
You?
Yeah, me. I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Suck it.
Said every woman ever.
Yeah.
What was there sarcasm in there?
I know. You stupid women.
Like,
Anyway,
fucking
Rick
jealous.
Keller. Hey, big kudos there, right?
Yeah.
He's our first high-level patron, nerd, and supporter. Thank
And
you
friend.
so much. And
Thanks.
friend, yes.
Thanks, Rick. And former boss for one of us.
You two can be like Rick and come all the time as much as you want if you join our Patreon.
Get an improv story made up about you that completely derails the story.
That's right. Anyway, where were we? I forget. I guess you guys saved the day. Fuck it.
Anyways, so the guy's laying there, flopping around like a dead fish, but he's still alive. The other guy's dead. I just coomed.
Yep. And the other guy's still there, and he's like, I could come harder than that, you little bitch. Come at me.
So I'm just gonna.
That's how I came in your wife, you fucker.
Not even married.
Are you finally
Hey.
going to come on a body?
No.
He's really egging you on.
Yeah. They're not even in the room.
I dare you to come on me.
So
Go over and come on me, and I'll slice your little willy off.
So the room is empty. Well, I mean, it's full of dead bodies and this loudmouth guy
Right.
that just refuses to die.
yeah.
So, like, I think I'm just going to reload the pistol, and as I, like, walk by him, I'm just going to shoot him in the head.
He says, "Oh, you pulled out a gun? I'll suck it. I'll suck it, you little bitch. Come over here."
And then just, like, he just keeps talking shit, and then all of a sudden, bang! He's
And
quiet.
He has died.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, we'll restart the clock for the fucking spirit wardens. But that is a lot of death, and Billy's had a day, and he's looking around like, man, I thought I was fucked up. This is fucked up. Isn't that right, Doc Man? Scary man.
You think that's fucked up? I have to come again.
Oh my god. I'm going to walk ahead of you, and if you want to do this, then that's
Yeah,
fine.
walk ahead and shake it for me, will you?
No, not going to. Don't envision me. Don't look at me
I
when
wasn't
you do it.
asking.
Okay. So he starts walking and like as if he's a first-time model on a runway. He does it all clanky and clunky, and he's probably not very sexy at all, though I'm starting to think it doesn't take much for Avarice, so...
Okay. Where did they go? What's their story?
They went through the back through the shelves, so we're gonna assume that you just
I'm gonna
pound one
follow
out.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, you pound one out. Okay, so you head back there.
Yeah,
All right.
beat
So
my meat.
now let's flash over to Dr. X and Fortuna, who are walking together. They come into the shelves, the racking. There are 3 large sets of racking, and as you get closer to them, you notice they are made up of smaller shelves. They are 3 tiers high and 3 jars wide, each one, and then there are 2 of them put together back to back to create the racks. Okay? So if you're walking through one of these aisles, you're seeing 9 jars per shelf in a series of like 10 shelves. So there's quite a few of these things, and they're big shelves and big jars. So I think I mentioned in a previous episode that's like a 5-gallon, jug is the size of these things.
A
Yeah.
5-gallon bucket?
Yeah, just a clear 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah.
That's pretty big.
It's better than a genie in a lamp, right? Itty bitty living space.
I'm a genie in a bottle, baby.
So now we know better to be a spirit. Anyway, you're walking by and you hear shuffling of feet, so you know Mylera and the Red Sashes are somewhere. As you face the end of your aisle, you can see it ahead. There is a wall of more jars. So imagine you're in a grocery store. You can hear the people in the aisle next to you. So you hear Mylera and the Red Sashes are probably either in the aisle next to you or the next aisle over. Okay. Meanwhile, you are starting to get really tense. Like your body is constricting a little bit. It is very intense to be around all of these spirits. As you walk by, you're seeing some names on the racks. There's one that's labeled Betty White.
Aw.
There is a Terry Crews.
Hey.
There's a George W. Bush. There's a Tom Brady. There's a Jeff Bezos. And then insert whatever other name you'd like here.
Yeah, you pick the people that are most likely to sue us.
Yeah.
Yes. Did I miss anyone?
Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, yeah, and Walt Disney.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. George Lucas. Yep, he's in
I mean,
there.
that was the topical one. I loved her movie. I saw it in theaters, actually. So please don't sue us.
Wow. Okay.
And
So
I
anyway,
watched it on TV at my mom's
yeah,
house, too.
you can hear them in the aisle next to you. You also heard that familiar sound of Avarice coming in the distance. But again, as you're walking through, you guys are almost getting paralyzed with fear and overcoming anxiety, as there are a lot of spirits in your peripheral and ahead of you that are sending you some crazy juju, right? So you might be a little weary of just making any swift moves, but yeah, you can hear your targets in the aisle or 2 next over.
Does the targets feel the same way as us?
Maybe.
We have to go find them first.
I mean, if you think about it, it's a good question, Fortuna. But if you think about it, they came to talk to these guys, so maybe they did something a little different than you, right? Their whole point was to come talk to them, the spirits. So maybe they have someone who is attuned in their group, unlike you guys.
Well, maybe we could have used that instead of Ox.
What am I, your Amazon? Want me to get you everything you need? Lickety split.
Yes, husband.
Okay. This is where you role play. Go ahead. Get in there. Swat you on the butt.
Oh, boy, I need a nap.
So, I mean, we were sprinting after her. How far ahead of us was she?
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
she was, like, way ahead of
she
us.
was well ahead of you. Yeah,
Oh,
she's
okay.
already probably fingered a few other spirits there and looked for another replacement for General Kroger. It's probably what she's doing.
Can I peek around the corner and see where they are?
Okay, so you look around the corner and you do see Mylera holding a jar and 2 of the Red Sashes behind her.
All right, so is she looking this way or a different direction?
They can hear you, so they're kind of trying to look through the bottles to see if they see anyone
Oh,
coming.
bitches. Okay. And then, so we already broke the bottle she was holding, which had the Canadian dickhead. So she's got a different bottle now. Why does she keep picking all these bottles up? She knows we're going to fucking probably attack her and accidentally break them.
So before you know it, Avarice is coming up hot behind you. What'd you roll?
Oh, am I rolling? Okay, well, let me
Get a
not
pro.
roll fucking...
You said. So you're in a risky position, standard effect.
6 and 3 4s.
You have
3 4s.
4 dice for prowl.
Yeah, I have 4 in prowl and
Holy
4 in
cow.
skirmish. 1 in finesse and 2 in hunt. As I've taken nothing else. And I do a lot of desperate rolls.
Yeah, you're pretty spread out there on your stat sheet.
Yeah. I did not. I specialized only in prowl and hunt.
She's got 5 different stats.
Well, she played it like the long haul, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, you, Dr. X and Fortuna, you're like kind of, Fortuna's peeking around the corner. She sees Mylera with a new jar and 2 red sashes. And then all of a sudden she feels a hand on her shoulder.
Fuck! Oh my god, I thought that was Mr. X, and that really creeps me out.
Yeah,
So glad it's you.
I wouldn't be too glad.
She turns around and Mr. X is just like wide-eyed staring at her like, what?
I wouldn't be too glad that I just touched your shoulder. The things I've done to my hand today.
He actually pulls it back, but it's stuck to her shoulder.
It's
Rips her
fine.
clothes.
It's a blue coats uniform. I'm not wearing it normally anyways. It's fine.
There you go. Yep.
It's not my jacket.
It's forever unclean.
So
Okay.
Mr. X is going to reach into one of his mini coat pockets and grab 2 of his explosive vials. And he's going to be like, we need to stop this bitch now. And he's going to start walking out into the aisle, and he's going to chuck him. He's going to throw him at, what's her face?
At Mylera.
Yeah, Mylanta.
All right,
She's got a spirit arm that's going to explode.
Yeah, that's okay.
And we're going to have another Canadian asshole in our hands or something.
Oh, maybe he's
Worse.
Canadian. Who knows? Yeah.
Also, where's Billy? Wasn't he in front of you? So shouldn't he have...
Billy's not as good. Like, you hear him tripping on shit and dead bodies. And, oh my god! Oh, how does the floor get so sticky? It's like a movie theater. And then he finally catches up to you guys.
And where's Ox and Richard?
Well, Ricardo's probably...
Well, Ricardo's still on. You left him back there.
He's bleeding out.
He's bleeding out back there.
He's probably fine.
And Ox, when you left him, he was
Having a
like
stroke.
a shell of a man. I think his age, maybe the possession, slowed him down quite a bit. So he's just sitting on the floor, kind of getting his shit together.
Yeah.
All right, so you're all together. You're gonna do that. So let's roll for each vial. And what do you? Let's say we're gonna call this a risky position, not desperate. And it is a standard effect.
Okay, so vial number 1. Shit, there's a 3.
3 is the highest.
Yeah.
Oh boy, this will be good. And what's the next one?
4.
All right. So the first one, you throw the vial, and you're kind of like trying to be sneaky and throw it around the thing, like without having to look. You're just like, around the corner. There we go. So all they would see is your hand. And you do that, but you actually smack it against the shelf. And it blows up in your hand, and your hand is kind of mangled and limp now.
Oh, goody.
You suffer a light harm.
Can the second one land in someone's pocket, like safe and sound?
I haven't taken damage before. Where's my health meter on this sheet?
Oh, yeah. So in Blades in the Dark, on your sheet, over by your stress, under your stress, it says harm, 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Now, you'll have level 1 harm. You can see that. It's less effect, basically. That's what, once you fill that up with 2 of them, which, Avarice, you have filled it up with 2. So you are going to have less effect, which means every time you roll, I have to give you a limited effect.
Apparently, I have taken harm before.
Yeah, that
must have been like the first 2 episodes.
Oh, then
and I just never erased it.
So you guys have a healing clock right next to your harm.
Oh, right. I assume
And
it's
so during
gone.
your down times, you can choose to heal. So you probably did. It's fine.
Well, no, I was working on other stuff. I never chose to
All right.
Well,
heal.
so what's less effect? What is my lessened effect?
It means when I take down one of your ticks, I knock you down a level. So if you roll a 6, I knock you down to 4 or 5. If you roll a 4 or 5, I knock you down 1 through 3.
Okay. And
It'll be fun, but you have a lot of dice.
yeah.
So is that why it's split? So I can take 2 harm in level 1.
Yes.
Then I move to level 2.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm at level 2 then because I never healed myself.
Now, is that
After weeks and weeks.
Is that for a specific thing? Like if I do damage, you knock it down 1, or is it for
Well,
like
so you see
sneaking
how
in?
it says you take less effect in that thing. So we gave you harm to your hip and to your back. And collectively they make up your complete level 1 harm. So now you're in level 2 if you take any more harm. Right now anything you try to do, I would say with jumping or like trying to run fast is probably not going to have a good effect.
Okay.
You can still sword fight though.
Yeah. You don't need your back or hips to sword fight.
Right.
I mean, you do, but
Well,
sure.
Hey, you know. All right. So, anyway, so he smashes the one that obviously gets everybody's attention, but he quickly turns and throws the other one down there, and that is going to work. But you are going to suffer a complication. So go ahead and tell us what you do here. What happens with this vial when you're going to land it? So.
Oh, okay. Well, so just like when I hit the guy in the face and his head fucking exploded, basically my hand's not mangled. It's gone. I have no hand now.
Oh.
Which technically, if we go by what I said before.
Ouch.
Yeah.
And you probably fucked up that shelf.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Assuming it's not falling over or anything. I don't know
Right.
what they're made out of.
Wood.
Oh, well, that fucking shelf exploded too.
Okay, so the shelf is going to explode, the top, right, because of where you are. So you hit it, and like the side is going to blow off and blow inward. So the other shelves kind of fall and make they slide, and each jar is breaking in front of you. There goes Ryan Reynolds. There goes
Another Canadian.
yeah, God dang it! He must be in the Canadian aisle. Like
We're
all
in
these.
C for Canada. Fuck.
Yeah, there goes all these jars are
Jim
hitting.
Carrey, no.
And you're starting to see spirits fly up into
Shania
the ceiling.
Twain.
They don't even waste any time with you guys. They go
Thank
straight up. Yeah. Bless you. But you definitely all get a very panic-stricken moment there where you're going to not notice what's going on except for these spirits. But the other one you threw does hit one of the sashes right in the face and just pow. And Mylera, after hearing the first explosion, kind of darts to the left and then basically moves out of the way. So the next bomb that comes just smacks a dude and he dies, right? So there's one red sash who gets knocked over. Mylera has juked to the left and she is essentially unscathed with the exception of, feeling the blast. She's holding a jar in her hands. And that jar is to the General James Longstreet of the Confederate Army. And he says to her, he looks up at her and he looks down the aisle at what's happened there. And he says,
Mylera, my dear, I do believe you are outnumbered, outgunned, and in a foudroyant position. Might I recommend surrender?
and so she looks at it and she just throws him and breaks it. And she pulls out her sword out of one hip and another sword out of the other. She is double fisting and ready for whatever comes around that corner.
While our players are getting their shots, let me tell you about our Patreon. We love making content for you, and we would love to keep doing this forever. If you become a Patreon supporter, you'll receive extra bonus content and tons of other goodies. Just search for Oops, We Broke the Multiverse podcast on Patreon to become a member. Thank you for your support. Now let's rejoin our heroes as they break another multiverse.
So, what we've got here is in the aisle, Mylera has two swords out, ready to fight. There's a dude down on the ground still who hasn't died. One guy got blown the fuck up, thanks to Mylera. And she's yelling around the corner. She's in the aisle and she's yelling to you guys. She doesn't know who's all there or how many of you are there. And she says, I don't know who the fuck you are. I don't know why you keep trying to stop me, but come out and fight. I'm fucking done. So Billy goes, it's me, Billy Strongford. Can I come out?
I thought it was Strangford.
Strongford. Well, it is spelled Strangford, but I say Strongford.
Nice double back.
Thank you. I'm coming out. And he kind of looks at you guys and nods like, I got this. And he starts to walk around the way. And then he runs. He's like, help me, they're fucking crazy.
Oh, we all knew that was going to happen.
So Dr. X is going to hand that guard's sword to Avarice and say, fucking kill him with this. It'll look like the guards did it. We'll leave him with the dead bodies from Red Sashes. Mission accomplished.
Do I have a third hand now? Then why do I need your fucking sword? I got 2 already.
Oh, we'll just plant that sword next to him next time. Okay.
I see where he was going, though. If
Yeah.
that sword is bloody, because where's the bloody sword, right?
Yeah.
Murder weapon.
Well, we can always just put blood on it later.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yep. That is true.
Sorry, I was a little inside the box on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you were thinking too much.
Yeah.
All right, so Billy is now cowering behind Mylera.
I'm going to come around with my 2 rapiers drawn.
Oh, yeah. I want the Duel of the Fates to come on at this point, and now we have Mylera facing off with Avarice, 2 swords each hand.
Wait, flashback. So
Well, how much stress do you have?
this isn't really going to be like a stressful thing, and I have 2 left that I can take.
2 stress. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
before
this
I
could
take-
cause you 2 stress. I don't know.
Not really.
What do you want to do?
So I want, like back at our hideout, I want like Dr. X to make me like kind of like an epinephrine kind of steroid-esque potion.
Do you plan on getting stung by bees
If
anytime
he
soon?
wants to
Grant
go,
you-
like-
okay, I'm just telling you, if I grant you anything that is not like super just plain, like, oh, I forgot my coat. Okay, I went and got my coat. I will cost you 1 stress, okay?
Okay, that's fine.
And that's, just plain, yeah.
So could you like make me like a steroid dole, like concoction?
I can make you a fantasy EpiPen, yes.
He can make you meth.
Hey, you want some crystal meth?
He already had some of that down there.
Kids, don't do drugs.
Some acid, LSD?
So you just want to go into barbarian rage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a little bit of help.
Glad we got away from D&D. I go to a meth head rage.
Me kill.
I get double strike. All right, so we'll take 1 stress.
All right.
And he made you this EpiPen. And so now what do you do with it?
Yeah, what are the effects you're hoping to gain from it?
I don't know. Just
Yeah.
like 1 extra dice with my skirmish.
Oh, no extra dice. It'll play into story, but it's not going to give you extra dice.
Okay, cool. Well, then, like,
Now
just
you are
don't-
straight D&Ding this.
Well, how about you just don't use that lessened effect on me then?
Good negotiation. We'll fit it in the story.
Okay,
about
cool.
Barbarian meth rage.
Don't do drugs, kids. Listen to our podcast.
Unless you're
instead.
fighting, then do them a lot to get super strength.
That's the first time I sucked dick for crack.
I seen him.
All
All right, so I'm gonna go attack this whore.
Yeah. So you see
What,
when
me?
you turn
you.
around, are you like sticking yourself in the thigh with this thing?
No, it's like before I come out from around the thing, I kind of just like pull down my ass cheek and stick it to my ass, inject it, and just go math.
The grinding of your teeth could be heard 3 aisles over. And so you jump out with your 2 swords. She's got her 2 swords. And the sash that was on the ground sees like this jacked up meth head out there with swords. And then he knows not to get in Mylera's way. So he gets up, he grabs his sword. He cuts the sash off the fallen red sash, puts it in his pocket. And he heads down the aisle as if he's going to go try to surprise everybody else.
Okay.
You see this, they don't. So then Mylera says, oh, all right. So you're a sword fighter, huh? Animal! So
Just frothy saliva is just pouring out of my fucking mouth.
you think you're the first homeless person I've fought this week? Let's dance, Methy.
Can I have $1?
He says that without opening his mouth, just opening his lips.
Can I have $1?
He's got a hair lip going. All right, so she is going to jump at you with both swords and try to slice at you with one and slice with you with the other with a follow-up attack. She gets 1-6, and the next one was a 3. So her first one, this is risky. She's going to take a slice at you, and we'll say she's coming at you with her sword. You block it with your sword, but then it comes and scrapes your forearm.
Oof.
And you will take harm on your forearm there. The other one, she comes with one strike and then twists to do another one, and you completely pull back, and she misses you completely. Her sword gets stuck in the next aisle's shelf because she was swinging so hard, and she decides to leave it there, so now she has one sword.
Okay. And so like while she she swings her sword, and I kind of like step back, and then I step right back forward. I'm just gonna bring both my rapiers up and try to impale her in the stomach and lift her up in the air before I like tear him out of her,
Okay.
letting her drop.
You're making one attack with both swords.
Yeah.
No, you got to do it to the side
So
so,
remember,
you can
all right.
cut her in half.
So you are in a risky position, and you are at a limited effect. So any die roll you make, I have to take it down a notch.
2 4s.
So I have to take you down to 1-3. So you will suffer a complication. You do not do it. So I'm gonna say
Wait,
that
so I have 2 4s.
I know your
So-
highest was a 4.
Yeah, you only count one of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you count your top.
Unless
one.
you get 2 6s, then you get a critical.
You're going up. She has to like quickly pull back to get away from that. But with your hilt, you take the opportunity, all methed out and quick, to just jab her right in the face with the hilts of your swords. Both of them. She takes it right to the forehead, and it cocks her back, and she starts stumbling backward, but catches herself.
Okay.
So she's going to take some hit there. Meanwhile, raging behind you is this other Sash, who comes running down the aisle with both his sword out, and he comes storming down there. When all of a sudden, one of the shelves starts to fall and falls right on him.
Ha! That was
And-
my plan all along.
And then one of the shells fall on this guy and just totally crushes him. You get panicked again and kind of constricted. The spirits are leaving these jars and float up into the sky there.
And his is going up too.
And you see Ox, and he's holding Ricardo like a baby. And he's got him, and he shoved that shelf down. And he's like, I'm feeling a little better, but my little
Anybody want a peanut?
my little guy,
My little
guy
gatito.
here, he's not my little Ricardo. He's not feeling so good. He's like, oh, I'd be fine. He sounds very weak. I'm all right. Where is the fight? My flower. Where is the fight?
Oh, it's right on the other side. I believe we can now see it because the shelf's down.
No, he was on the other side.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we got front row seats now?
Yeah.
Misunderstood. Havris is over there, methed out, fighting. So I suggest that we probably scurry over that way, and I put like around and try to get her from behind.
Nice. Okay. So you're gonna like basically she's facing him down the end of the aisle, the end cap almost, and then you guys are gonna come behind.
Yes.
Okay. So Ricardo's like, I love that idea. Let's go onward. Let's go. Vámonos. Ox, he kind of kicks Ox like a horse. And so you guys start to make your way around. All right, so we go back to the sword fight here. Mylera is going to take, kind of grip her sword a little tighter now. Like, okay, this guy's a little better than I thought, or just more methed out than I thought. And she's going to come slowly at you now, kind of rounding and kind of poke her sword at you, trying to get you to block, kind of try to test your fighting skill here. It's kind of a standoff. Let's each roll a die. Whoever rolls the highest gets to strike next. I got a 3.
2.
4.
Fuck, some new fucking dice. These ones suck.
I got a 4.
You
Does
got a
that count?
4?
Do I get to strike
Would
first?
you like to? Would you like to strike?
No, because I was gonna throw an explosive vial and it probably hit Avarice.
I don't know. He'd probably eat it right now and survive. All right, so she's going to take a swipe at you first. Okay, and so she is going to take a swipe, but you still have 2 swords in your hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's going to take a swipe at you, and like both hands kind of slash down. You end up using both of your swords to kind of hold her back. And you're doing one of those things where it's like a power test right now.
Yeah.
And this is where the meth kicks in, and you just shove her right into the shelf. She hits it hard, and on one of the boards is going to just like crack her back a little bit, and now you can tell she is a lot less agile.
Yeah.
And you can go in for the kill, perhaps. As at that moment, you can come in on her. These guys are rounding the other corner, getting ready to do whatever they're going to do. But they may see the situation she's in. She still has her sword up, but you are able to,
Okay.
go totally gorilla ape
What I
shit
want
on
to
her.
do is, like, if she has her sword up, I just want to go in at a cross and then kind of like scissor her head off.
Her head?
Her head.
Well, if she has her sword up, how you going to...
Well, because like you cross the blades, like I
It's
don't
gonna
know.
go around it.
Yeah, I was like, how does that work?
You
'Cause
bend the
you're gonna do
blade,
this, and then you're
obviously.
gonna stop at her blade.
If James McAvoy could do this, he could bend the blade around the other blade. The movie Wanted.
Am I...
What?
Oh, Wanted? No, don't ever quote that shit movie. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a sore spot for Sean.
Yeah, I'm not getting into it.
Okay. All right.
All
Magneto from X-Men.
It's a stupid fucking movie.
All right. Well, if she has her blade up, I just kind of want to slash her, like at 2 different levels on both sides. Like go right arm, like kind of at her neck level, and my left arm at her like hip level.
Okay, so you're going to go top. You're going to go low and high on her.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So go ahead and roll for that.
So 2 6s.
That would be a crit if you weren't getting knocked down a peg. So it's 2 5s essentially. So you still do it though.
It's 3 5s actually.
You got a super minor crit.
Yeah.
So you're gonna suffer a complication, but you definitely do it. So go ahead and describe it.
All right. So she gets slammed against the shelf, like really hurting her back.
She got like meth shoved.
Yeah, meth shoved. And then she like puts her sword up, but she's not quite ready to defend as I'm coming in with both angles. My blade just barely like grazes the bottom of her blade going to the left for my left hand, and like she has it at an angle where I kind of go over the top of it with my right arm, cutting off her head and her kind of in the middle. And the complication is the one in the left hip kind of gets stuck.
You're like, fuck it. All right, so you're decapitating her and slicing her hip. All right, so you're going to do it, and her head rolls onto the ground. Billy lets out a girlish shriek, and he starts to run down the aisle away from you, and he slams right into Mr. X. Mr. X blows up because of all the vials.
I mean, you could do that because my coat's full of them.
No, he slams into you, and and then he looks shocked, like, "Oh fuck, these guys again." All right, so Mr. X, what do you do?
So with my one remaining good hand,
No, use the nub.
not yet. That's for later. He's gonna grab Billy by the throat, and he's going to kind of judo kick him down to the ground.
So like grab him and then kick him.
Yeah, like kick out his legs, and then just kind of shove him down to the ground.
Oh shit! You're gonna sweep him. Sweep
Yeah.
the leg.
And then he's gonna put his knee on his throat and just hold him down. He's gonna say, "Avarice, get over here and do this."
Nine, no, please, no. I've been good to you. I had many opportunities to kill you all.
Is Avarice still methed out?
Yeah.
And he's not speaking English.
Don't. He's not even speaking words.
Mr. X, I mean, like, we could give him some type of paralytic.
Then you'd have to fucking carry me. Oh, you mean Billy?
I don't have
Yeah.
enough stress for a flashback, and I did not bring any with me.
Oh, look at this, and I pull out my paralytic hairpin.
Oh,
Let's go poison tips.
Oh, finally it comes into play.
Yeah.
All right.
Then stick him and be done with it. I'm ready to leave.
See, get him, pinche puto. He spits on him.
All right, so I'm gonna probably just like go ahead and do it in his back a little bit, so it's not so
He
super
slaps
obvious.
at you. He slaps at you to avoid that.
What?
How would he avoid that? Like he's got him pinned on the ground.
With his foot. He's a one-handed man.
Okay. I lift up his arm, roll him over up a little bit, and I stab him in the back a little bit.
Oh, you're envisioning he was face down.
No, he's back down.
All right, so Billy is writhing and he's still slapping. He's like, 9, 9, 9, 19 night. And he falls asleep. Is that what happens?
Great.
Yeah, it's pretty quick acting.
Okay.
So, the antidote's time.
Hashtag the antidote is time.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks.
Get your t-shirts and stickers.
So he'll probably rat us out that we were all into it together, and he can also tell them where our hideout was. But we want it to look like he actually did it, right?
So what you're thinking is the best way to do this is to kill him.
Mm-hmm. Or we have to get all new identities and get rid of the sin bin.
I like the sin bin.
Ox kind of, looking down on Billy, and he says, well, this is why we came here. This was the plan. It's time.
Should we all do it at once? And you know what? You haven't had a kill in a while. Why don't you take the lead on this one? Let's
Oh.
give you a kill.
Oh, I want to use my fan blade.
Oh, yeah.
Mr.
Let me
X gets
see.
up and he walks far away.
I am going to... I want to actually just do both his wrists so he saw what he'd done and all the stuff that he's done and to the children. And I was going to slit both wrists up the street. So, I mean, and then Dr. X, we could forge a suicide note. You're really good at writing resumes and notes. Do
He
you have
pulls out
any
his red
input?
crayon.
It's in his shirt pocket.
Typical Dr. X style. Yeah,
Yep.
so the crayon.
Okay, so
So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead since he's paralyzed. I'm just gonna do that. So it looks like he did himself. So we're gonna. I want to sit him up at the table too. So it looks like you really thought about it, not just laying a strew all willy nilly.
So you want to bring him to the table, back to the table.
Yeah.
Okay, so before you can get to the table with his body, you slit his wrist though, or you haven't yet.
I don't know the correct answer to make this successful or not.
What is that word in a video game? Like if you cross a certain threshold, it will trigger something.
A flag?
Sure.
Yeah,
Save-
it's
that
an
is.
A
event
save
flag.
point.
If you So as you pick Billy up to go position him,
I can't slit his wrist beforehand. Otherwise, he doesn't look like he committed suicide.
Well, dragging a bloody body across the floor is not going to make it look
Yeah, I
like
mean-
suicide either.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
not that bloody right now, right?
You slit his wrist. Well, okay, did
Not
you do
yet.
it? The attack.
That's what we were talking about. I'm I'm going to set him up at the table and then slit his wrists.
All right, so you want to go set him back up at the table,
Yep.
and you're gonna make him slit his wrists. Trigger warning to all our fans.
That was my plan.
Okay, so you
Your tone makes you not want to do it, but I've already set my mind to it.
Okay. So you're going to set him up at the table on a chair. It's probably the spot closest to the racks, right? And he's sitting in the chair now. And you
Yeah.
take your fans out
Yeah.
and you cut his wrists the right way, according to Dr. X, who's probably guiding you. And you do that, and Billy's in that paralyzed state, and he's unconscious.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even his arms jolt when you do each one, and then your fans are out, and you're kind of sitting there and okay, nothing. He's bleeding, okay.
And then I'm going to write a suicide note for him.
And then all of a sudden he just shits horrendously, as Avarice pointed out episodes ago, of what happens to a body in his whole cadaver plan, and the shit gets all over your fans. The shit
How
why
would
I was
the
standing
shit get
back.
over my fans?
the shit hits the fan.
So stupid.
Damn it! I knew I shouldn't. I knew I shouldn't have fed him all that Chinese food. My bad, guys.
Anyway, yes, he is dead, and so you are going to write a note.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be, Dear Daddy.
Because that's what he probably called him.
Yeah.
Probably called him, hey, asshole, give me money.
Daddy,
Dear Daddy.
money for more holes.
Daddy, would you like some sausage?
Go on.
Dear Daddy, I'm not blaming you, but I am.
Why is he British and not
Because I can't do the other accent, okay? I'm not him.
You
This
can
is
do it,
me
you can do
pretending
it.
to be him,
Okay.
okay? Leave me alone, I'm sick.
You should write it out and have Sean read it.
Pause.
Yay! Dear Daddy, I'm not saying it's your fault, but it is. You were cutting me off to my little fun girl supply, you bitch. I have joined with some really, really cool guys who agree this bullshit and a waste of resources. This archive of assholes is through. Down with the patriarchy. I hope the world spits on your grave. Love, little Billy. So that's the letter that is left behind. You just leave it in front of him on the table.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put the crayon in his hand.
Okay.
I forgot to take a pen with me. How silly.
Yes.
Hair.
Well, it's
I have a
all
hair pin, not pen. So
right. Okay.
So guys, we kind of got to get out of here. I'm all used up when it comes to coming. So
So at that moment, all of a sudden you hear kind of like a rattling. It's very faint at first, but all of you start to feel a panic, similar to when a spirit was released from the jar. The rattling grows louder, and it sounds like all of the spirit jars are just clanging together very rapidly. Some of the dust starts to fall from the ceiling, and you hear wood cracking in the rafters. You start to hear some loud noise up down the hall. The whole building is rattling. Avarice, you start to hear in your head,
Danger. Danger.
and
Don't let it out. Don't let it out.
and the rumbling in the jars. You can start to hear some of the voices from the spirit jars start to sing.
Go. You must stop him. Go. Run. This cannot happen.
am I the only one who hears this?
Yes, you have a special gift.
Ah, guys, something's happening.
yeah, I
And?
just planted this sweet.
A lot of shit
suicide
just
note
happened.
No,
And I'm gonna
something
leave
is
a
currently happening.
Dagger here, so I'm gonna take my fans back. Oh, what?
Like something is escaping. We can't let it out.
Is it gas again? No. Oh no, you're serious. From where?
Shh, shh, shh. I'm trying to listen for it. Is it gone now?
Oh no, the rumbling is. They can hear the rumbling and shit. They're
Just not the voices.
They cannot hear the voices. Yeah,
Is it coming from outside?
Is it an earthquake?
and then it just says,
He's going to let it out. He's going to let it out.
Who is? He who?
Yeah.
What the fuck? What kind of a guess is this? I can hear shit now, and the curse is it doesn't fucking help me.
now some jars are rattling off the shelves, and now you start to hear loud crashes all throughout the place, and you hear heavy shit falling from down the hall. All right, so you guys make your way out.
Mr. X is gonna go
Well-
leave some explosive vials in Billy's jacket.
Cool.
Put a couple in different pockets. Make it, maybe leave 5 behind.
That's a lot. Like, are we going towards the scary rumbly part?
Well, you have only one way out, and that's through the hall that you came in.
Oh, all right. So I skedaddle that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's make like Lord of the Rings when they're running through to the Bridge of Cause Doom and just zoom our way out.
They're taking the hobbits to Isengard. Isengard.
So yeah, and much like that scene, there is some of the rafters are rattling loose. You can hear cracking of wood. You hear more jars hitting the ground. Each of you are like, as you're trying to run, you keep feeling like you're getting kicked in the gut from panic because there's so many spirits of all kinds floating around and being released right now. But you do make it to the end of the hall. You notice through the hall, right, is the time before the cataclysm hall. And there are all the items in the displays and stuff have been shooken loose and fallen down. The rumbling, though, as soon as you enter that room, has stopped. You do notice, as it falls silent for a moment, that a crack in the floor, just every few seconds, crack, 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 towards you and throughout the room, just as if an earthquake had happened and started to break the floor.
All right, can we shut the room to the hall, or the time before the cataclysm hall? Can we shut that door?
Sure, yeah, you shut it.
Shut it. Spin the little Rubik's Cube that kept it locked.
That's not what it was, but yes.
Well, that's what he wants it to be.
That's it. You know what it is.
That's what it is in my mind.
and
And
guess
remember-
what? You solved it.
Yeah.
So, all right. So it's quiet. Like I said, the floor was cracking and it stopped. The place is a fucking mess.
We did not do that.
The what?
We did not make that mess.
Yeah, this isn't
No,
our problem.
no.
Let's get the fuck out of here. And he's just gonna, Mr. X is just gonna start leaving the building.
All right. So you locked the doors to that hall. So you unlock it. You open the door. You will notice right away the hall that you're in, the before the cataclysm. Across from there, right, is the demons and spirits exhibit.
Yep.
Oh, Dr. X knows that area.
So you can see, and Dr. X, you do know that area. So if you're first out the door, you look across the hall, just it catches your eye, it's in front of you, that the side of that wall has been busted out, and there is, a trail of blood and debris hanging left towards the entry hall. And so as your eyes are following this trail of shit going down that hall,
Francis?
you now see some green strobing light coming from the entry hall. And you notice that in the hall is that sexy Holy Spirit. As if she was leaning against the wall, and she looks at you, he's like, oh. She's says, I've been waiting for you.
Ghostbusters? Anybody?
She gets closer and closer now. So yeah, that's the scene you walk into.
Oh boy.
Well, you're just going to have to take one for the team, Dr. X.
Wait,
Well-
she's the one that caused all this damage?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
She's just there. She's so
Just being overtly sexual
she's
again?
just really trying to get some D from Mr. X.
Well, you have to come anyways. Someone has to.
Yeah, it's your turn, buddy.
That's not my thing.
I've been pulling my weight for all of you.
You're the
you're
one
like a prune raisin right
Yeah.
now. Like he's so
I'm so
withered.
dehydrated. I'm coming down from my little meth trip.
So
Fucking
she sees that you're a little shy. So she walks up to you and she puts her hands on both sides of your face, and you feel absolutely frozen in temperature and ability to move. And she lays a huge kiss on you, and then she takes her hand and puts it right on your dick and starts rubbing, and one thing leads to another, and bing bong, you're done.
You just raped him.
She did. And then she takes her hand back up to her to your face. Kind of just smears your face a little bit, rounding it, and she plants a big kiss on you. And then she says, I've been waiting for that for a century. And then she starts to kind of float backwards in a way, and she goes, oh, your quiet friend, he's that way. And she points towards the entry hall. And then she winks at you, and she sort of ascends through the ceiling.
She waited a century for a hand job? Yeah.
She's been locked up for a minute.
Did anybody else see it?
What would you do the first thing you get out? You're gonna rape a motherfucker.
Were they still inside the room?
I don't know. You guys tell me. Did you guys witness that?
Oh, I saw it.
I just wanted to play it off like nothing happened. Nothing. Let's just go. Let's just go.
I was,
All right,
Damn
guys.
it! You do something nice for somebody and they fucking rape you. Let's go.
Mildly impressed with her technique.
All right, we got to go get Francis. You don't go, Dr. X. Don't go by any black lights whatsoever.
This whole place.
Fortuna, keep your little fan out. We got to go.
All right, so you make your way towards the entry hall.
Yeah.
So that's what he thinks he's saying, but since he's still all methed up, he's
I'm not.
just-
It doesn't- I'm not actually. It's worn off.
No, I just wanted to make that joke.
Oh, okay.
It's just
Why are you guys confused? Why are you looking at me that way?
Yeah. Duh. Obviously, I said exactly what you needed to hear.
Yeah, and listener, you can see the subtitles at the bottom of your screen to understand what he's saying. He's naked for some reason. Silly meth heads. They're so funny. All right, so as you guys you're all collectively making your way towards the entry hall.
Yep.
You come. So if you remember, as you go down the head of the Pyrenees, that is this building, that's where people come in. So that is probably the biggest wide open area in
I am a
the
god.
whole place.
This podcast has ruined the word "come" for me.
It really has.
Coom.
As you come to the head of the Pyrenees, and she comes at you.
I cannot hear that word without thinking of all this shit now.
I can't hear that word without hearing O'Neill saying "coom."
Coom. That's why I have to specify. It's coom.
We've probably ruined it for our listeners too.
Yeah.
If you join our Patreon and start paying us, we will stop using that word.
Never.
We're holding your ears for ransom.
Or you can have a 1 hour audio clip of O'Neill just saying "coom" over and over again.
Coom.
To some
Coom.
soft music. To
Coom.
some Kenny G.
Maybe,
Coom.
maybe even in
Coom.
different languages.
El Coom.
Coomber 9.
La
Coomber
Coom.
9.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
All right.
Not a
Knock it
sponsor.
off.
I like that one.
Come together now, guys. Let's get back to
Come
this.
together.
So, as you go into the entry hall, you get to that doorway of the hall. It opens up. This is where all the people would come in to visit. Oh, fuck. Sorry.
Come to visit.
And at this point, big sign says, "Welcome." All right. So,
All right, children, settle down.
normally, this hall would have some statues on it and stuff. Probably what happened here is a lot of those statues have been knocked down inside of here. You're walking up and you are seeing a large pentagram that has been painted on the ground, and from it is illuminating this green light. Okay. On one of the bigger pedestals that one of these bigger statues was on is a figure. And next to that figure are the two dogs. They are demon dogs. They look like dogs, but they're like 15 feet long, and they look like they've been turned inside out.
So like mutant wiener dogs, but all gristly and muscly.
I would equate it more to like a Doberman looking
A
dog.
Chihuahua.
It's Resident Evil dogs.
Yeah, just a couple chihuahuas inside out.
Okay, yes. They are sitting on either side of a figure, and also on the ground you can see two people tied up. Power through. Tied up, and on the ground
What are
on
they?
either there are two people, two figures tied up on the ground, bonded. Okay? If you were to come closer, you
Cool.
might be able to see them, but we're not doing that yet. And then you see the figure on the platform rise up as if they are floating. And he says, Dagger Isles, welcome. I've been waiting for you. You've done an excellent job.
Thank you for listening to Oops, We Broke the Multiverse podcast. We were playing Blades in the Dark, published by Evil Hat Productions. Our intro and outro music was provided by Major Powers and the Lo-Fi Symphony. You can hear more of their music on Spotify. The introduction was voiced by our multi-talented friend Brian Linds. You can find him on Instagram at Cult Classic Posters. I'm Anthony O'Neill. I was playing Avarice. Mr. X was played by Anthony Gaba. Our Game Master and NPCs was played by Sean Cruz. And of course, our special guest tonight was Anne-Marie Cruz. She was playing Fortuna. She's an amazing illustrator, tattoo artist, and nerd. You can follow her on Instagram at Anne-Marie Cruz. That's at ANNMARECRUZ.
I